Of Mr. Akasaka, Kiyo Akasaka, who is the Undersecretary General for Communications and Public Information, I'm delighted to welcome you all to, as I said before, our latest Meet the Author series. We are honored to have with us esteemed author Siri Hustvedt, who will, did I pronounce it well?
Yes, you did very well.
Okay. And later on I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Who will read from her book, The Enchantment of Lily Dahl, as well as signed copies of her book for the public. And I really want to express our gratitude to Siri for being here. Thank you very much. Today, we are celebrating English Language Day here at the United Nations. The Language Days at the UN initiative was launched by the Department of Public Information in February of this year as part of our department's continued commitment to multilingualism, cultural diversity, and cross-departmental cooperation. The UN community will celebrate 6 language days dedicated to the 6 official UN languages, which are, of course, Arabic, Chinese, English, French, Russian, and Spanish. Through the language days, we hope to entertain as well as inform by raising awareness of the history, culture, and achievements of each of the 6 official UN languages in the UN community. 23 April was selected as English Language Day because it is traditionally observed as William Shakespeare's birthday, and fittingly enough, we have made the Bard the theme of our celebration today. I believe there is an interesting relationship between Ms. Hustvedt's book and the work of William Shakespeare, and I look forward to hearing more about that. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, one of the goals of the Language Days initiative is to encourage collaboration between different departments in the United Nations and the Department of Public Information. Is delighted to have partnered with the Office of Human Resources Management's Language and Communications Program and the Department of General Assembly and Conference Management on today's lineup of events, which, in addition to this book signing event, include an information fair on the 2nd floor of the North Lawn building. That's the new building as you enter that looks like a big white box, looks like IKEA, some people say. The San Jerome Translation Contest Award Ceremony at 1:30 p.m. in Conference Room 7, and a panel discussion on English resources at the United Nations at 3:15 p.m. in the DC2 building, office number 200. We hope you can join us at the other events as well. Before I give the floor to the next person in the lineup, I'd like to say that this is kind of full circle for me. I'm a national of Venezuela, from Venezuelan parents of German and Spanish origin, and I was born in England, and I work at the United Nations. So here now, talking about Shakespeare's birthday is kind of, you know, coming around. So I'm very happy that they asked me to do this. I'd like to introduce Pat Duffy, who is an English language teacher for the Language and Communications Program. Pat was instrumental in organizing this book signing event, and we are very grateful to her for her efforts. Pat will now introduce our guest, Ms. Siri Hustvedt. Pat, you have the floor.
Okay. Thank you. Can everybody hear me? Yes? All right. So hello to all of you, and thank you so much for coming. My name is Pat Duffy. I'm an instructor in the English department of the UN Language and Communications Program. And I'm really happy to be involved in Language Days. As Juan Carlos said, 6 different days have been set aside, each to celebrate a different UN official language. And so today, we're celebrating the beauty of the English language on Shakespeare's birthday, April 23rd. And as part of that celebration, we have invited Siri Hustvedt. And she is one of our finest contemporary authors. And I know that she has many fans of her work here at the UN. Her novels such as The Blindfold, What I Love, The Sorrows of an American have really broad international appeal, and her work has been translated into 29 languages. So Ms. Hustvedt has also been acclaimed, not only novels, but also her nonfiction work. She's written a wonderful book of art essays called Mysteries of the Rectangle, which I have read and which is really wonderful if you are interested in art. And her newest book, which we have here, is called The Shaking Woman, A History of My Nerves. And this is really an intriguing examination of her own undiagnosed seizure disorder viewed through the lenses of medical history, psychiatry, neuroscience, psychoanalysis, literature, and philosophy. And I had the pleasure of corresponding a bit with the author about this work, as we had some research interests in common. And speaking of probing the mysteries of the psyche, and, well, who can do that better? Who is a better master at that than William Shakespeare? So today, on Shakespeare's birthday, Siri Hustvedt will be giving a reading and a talk on her novel, The Enchantment of Lily Dahl, which references Shakespeare's great play, A Midsummer Night's Dream. And it also shows how one of our finest contemporary novelists references Shakespeare's work. So I'll tell you a little bit about Siri. Siri Hustvedt is from a Norwegian community in Minnesota. She came to New York City back in 1978, and she obtained her PhD in English literature from Columbia University. And then she began to write novels, and by the way, another of her novels called The Summer Without Men will be coming out. Sounds like a good title. Will be coming out next spring, 2011. She continues to write and to lecture about visual art as well as the connections among the arts, neuroscience, and psychoanalysis. And write this date in your agenda, because on September 28th at the CUNY Graduate Center, she has been invited to give the inaugural lecture for a series of talks called Neuroculture, Body and Brain in Cultural Perspectives. Very interesting topic. Siri Hustvedt currently lives in Brooklyn with her daughter and with her husband, the writer Paul Auster. So now I won't take any more time. I will just present Siri Hustvedt. And again, she will give a talk on her novel, The Enchantment of Lily Dahl. It's reference to Shakespeare's work. This is really a wonderful novel in which some of the characters are involved in performing Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream. So the novel in that way is also a meditation on this Shakespeare's magical work. And so what is more appropriate on the birthday of William Shakespeare? So here is Siri Hustvedt.